My mother-in-law spent 2 days telling my 2-year-old daughter she came second, and on the second night, I found out she'd been writing it down. I'm 33, an account manager in Atlanta, and I have 2 children. My daughter Hazel is 2. My son Owen is 4 months. We had flown to Houston for Christmas at my husband's parents' house. My mother-in-law Frances had hosted 7 of these visits without incident, which is why I had not seen the 8th coming. The first day was fine. The second day was fine. On the third day, my husband Curtis was on the rug with Hazel, building a tower of blocks, and Frances and I were on the couch with the baby. Frances watched Curtis and Hazel for a long minute, and then said, sharply, that he should put the girl down and come pay attention to his son, who needed it more. She said it loud enough that Hazel's hand froze on the block she was placing. Hazel looked at her father, and then at her grandmother, and her face did the thing 2-year-olds' faces do, right before they understand a sentence isn't fair. I took both kids upstairs. Curtis came up 10 minutes later. He apologized for his mother. He went back down to talk to her. He came back 2 hours later and told me Frances had heard him. I asked Curtis what exactly she had said. He said she had nodded a lot. I asked him a 3rd time, and he said, finally, that she had said the boy needs more right now, and you can tell your wife I said so. I lay awake that night and listened to the baby breathe. The next morning Frances was sweet to Hazel, in a way that made my teeth hurt. She showed her the kitchen drawer with the cookie cutters. By lunchtime I had decided to stop being suspicious. By 2:30 Frances was telling Hazel that as the older sibling it was now her job to make sure Owen was happy, that big girls did not cling to their daddies, and that big girls put their brothers first. She used the word responsibility 4 times in 2 minutes. I tickled Hazel to break the spell, and Frances told me, smiling, that she had earned the right to educate her grandchildren. I took both kids upstairs again. I told Curtis on the phone I was changing our flights for the morning. While the kids slept that afternoon, I went downstairs to get the diaper bag I had left in the kitchen. The house was empty. Hazel's water cup was on the kitchen island where Frances had set it. The cup was on top of a notebook. The notebook had Hazel's name on the front, in Frances's careful school teacher cursive. Picked up the cup, I opened the notebook. The notebook had been started in October. It was a log. The first page was titled, with a date, Hazel, observations. Each subsequent page had a date and a list. The lists were not what a grandmother writes. The lists were a project. October 14, too quiet, attention seeking via father. October 22, refused to share toy with cousin. November 5, sass to mother in front of guests. November 18, clinging to father, will need work after baby arrives. The most recent entry was from yesterday. It said, cuddling Curtis, on rug, will need direct intervention. Strategy, redirect attention to baby. Frame as girl responsibility lesson. Repeat over multiple visits to set expectation that daughter steps back. Mother will object. Anticipate. There was no date for today's entry yet. There was a blank line waiting for one. I sat at the kitchen island, and I did not move for a long time. I took photos of every page with my phone. I closed the notebook. I put Hazel's water cup back on top of it at the angle I had found it. I did not tell Curtis. I did not tell Frances. I packed. That evening the 4 of us ate dinner with Frances and her husband. She was kind to me in the way kind people are kind, and kind to Hazel in the way a person who has written down a strategy is kind, and I let her be both. I made sure Hazel sat on my lap. After Hazel was asleep, I forwarded the photos to my own email and to my best friend Renata, who is a child psychologist. Renata called me back 6 minutes later and said, gently, that this kind of structured behavioral campaign against a girl child is sometimes a thing that women in certain kinds of families do, and that there is a name for it, and it is not love. I did not sleep that night. In the morning I waited until Frances came downstairs in her robe to make coffee. I handed her my phone, opened to the first photo of the notebook, and I told her, quietly so as not to wake my daughter, that we were leaving for the airport in 20 minutes, and that this was the last time she would see either of my children until I decided, in writing, otherwise. I told her the photos were already off my phone. Frances said nothing. Frances just stood there in her robe holding the phone. Curtis came downstairs at 5:30. We left at 5:40. We were in the air at 7. Hazel slept on my chest the whole flight. The notebook is still in Frances's kitchen, on the island. The photos are on a thumb drive, in my safe deposit box. Curtis has not gone back to Houston. Curtis has not asked me to. Curtis has read the photos twice, and he doesn't ask anymore, which is its own kind of answer. Hazel turned 3 in March. Frances did not send a card. We did not expect one. The blank line under yesterday's date is going to stay blank.